You okay? These are yellow. Yellow beets. Yellow. Did you say yellow? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nicole. This is my daughter Sage. We are going to attempt having lunch. Well, she's gonna eat lunch while I go through the video. Let me just get this bib on. Yeah, okay. We got some toast and butter. There you go. Okay, got some stuff on the stove cooking up. If you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe, click that red button down below. It's free. I post new videos here every single week. I got mommy content, baby content, what I eat in a day videos, lifestyle vlogs, wellness, all the things. So definitely stick around if that sounds like good stuff to you. Today I'm gonna share 10 of my tips to helping your babies be good eaters. And I like to just say help because I feel like every baby is different and they're gonna do their own thing, but I think as parents, we can really help give them the right tools and guidance in order to encourage and support their natural eating habits. And you know, I stress this a lot on my channel and on my Instagram, but I don't think Sage just happens to be this like miracle. Chew. She loves toast. I stress this a lot on my channel and on Instagram, but I really don't think Sage just happens to be this like miracle eater and we just got lucky. I really feel like she is a product of her environment and the food that she's been served and just like little things that I have learned along the way and have done with her to support her own food journey. Okay, I'm gonna get some more food on her plate before she gets hangry. But yeah, I'm gonna get into all of my tips since I keep getting asked a lot. And like I said, I'm not an expert. This is just what I have done. And because I've been getting so many requests, especially in my What Sage Eats as a 1-year-old video, so many of you guys asked for it in the comments. So here it is. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, I'm gonna get some food for her and then we can continue with the tips. In the meantime, subscribe and thumbs up this video if you're excited. More? 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 Okay, we'll try that later. Would you like some water? Do you wanna use your hands? No? Okay. Okay. My first tip is to make sure that they are comfortable. Do you want some more? Let's not pull that off. Okay, there you go. To make sure that they are comfortable and that the seat that they're in, the tools that you're using are baby friendly and geared towards like their needs at whatever like age that they're at. So Sage right now, she does have another high chair back at home because we are right now away for the winter in Florida and we love this travel high chair. We use this at home too for the counter. No, we don't. We don't. That's the light. So talkative today. We use this at home a lot too. She's just hanging out with me while I'm cooking in the kitchen. I will link it in the blog post down below for you guys. It's great. We just have her sitting in it with we have a bar stool underneath so she can actually put her feet on. It's super important to make sure that they have like a ledge to rest their feet. Just think about yourself eating with your feet dangling. It wouldn't be comfortable. And I've also heard that it can help with preventing choking and stuff. Obviously do your own research. I am not a doctor. I am not a professional. I am just a mom with real life experience. So we have this high chair. I believe you want them to be in like a 90 degree sitting and 90 degree with their feet and their legs when they're sitting, so a very ergonomic position. In terms of the tools, you know, you wanna make sure that whatever you're getting is gonna support them, you know, their needs and stuff, and that's gonna be ergonomic. Right in the beginning, I used these little guys here that are so great for little baby hands. I felt like she was just a pro eater, a little scooper right to the mouth because these are so baby friendly. And you know, like even if you just buy one set and wash and reuse, you don't have to like invest in a whole bunch of utensils for your baby. But like we did get 3 of them, and honestly looking back, I think just a set of 2 would have been fine. And that way, like as she gets older, like we're starting to now do different utensils. These ones are great right now because she can actually grab onto them. It's like a little loop and they'll sit up straight or sit up right. And so she likes these ones as well. And she'll actually try to scoop it up and put it in her mouth. The peas might be a little slippery. Also this is called a tiny cup, and it is in fact tiny. And it is just a lot easier for baby to drink water out of a cup when it's it's made in the right size for their mouth and their hands. And Sage at a very young age was able to hold this and bring it up to her mouth. She still kind of spills it around, and we have another cup with handles and a no spill like cup as well. It's not a sippy cup, but it's like a no spill one. I will link them in the blog post as well, but the right tools can really help support them when they're eating. Even now, like, it doesn't really matter if Sage is using her cutlery properly. It's just, I want it to be at her dinner table so she knows that is a thing to use, or she can explore it. And then also, like, we'll usually have her no spill cup next to her, which I think is in the dishwasher. Yeah, she's definitely in the phase of wanting her water next to her when she eats, but she's too distracted by peas, which is like, she's actually eating peas and asparagus right now. Okay, you want to use those? Okay. Do you want some beets? So I'm gonna link my favorite tools down below for you guys. I also have a whole blog post just on baby food resources that you guys can check out as well. My next tip is to embrace the mess. So we already have, I'm sure, a few peas on the floor. Yeah, we definitely do. This is something that was really hard for Matt, I think, to just like accept. I feel like it's really allowed Sage to fully explore the, you know, sensory experience that is eating. And, you know, if you're always there, you know, wiping their face, controlling like the mess and stuff, it's very distracting and uncomfortable. Could you imagine if you're eating and someone's like scraping your face all the time? Like, I always think about what would I feel like if someone was doing that to me right now. You know, same thing, if my feet were dangling and I was uncomfortable in my chair, or if I had a wet diaper, I always want to make sure that, you know, she's eating in a way that I would feel comfortable eating as well. So even in the beginning, when we did more like mashy foods, you know, it definitely was more of a mess. Like, now it's a little bit easier to clean because they are like small pieces of food, not fully mashed unless it's like a soup or something, but it definitely ends up on the floor. And what we normally do, I have a onesie on her today because we're filming, but I usually just strip her down. She's just in her diaper. We put the silicone bib. It has a little catcher, and it just makes messy cleanup a little bit easier. You can also find one of those mats that go underneath the high chair that are really easily wipeable. Silicone is easy because you just throw it in the dishwasher after. I feel like cloth and stuff is definitely more of a, like, you know, takes longer to clean. You have to put it in the washer and dryer. But yeah, I mean, we embrace the mess in this house. As much as Matt likes to do his little like guards on the side of her when she would like flip her spoon, I just let her be. I let her make a mess. We've kind of trained Cashew not to like eat the food that's fallen, which has been really handy if you don't want your dog just eating all the leftovers or baby giving the dog their food. But yeah, I just feel like they get to, you know, fully experience what's on their plate, the textures, the flavors, the colors, when they get to touch the food and not have parents worrying about like the mess that they're making. And honestly, like, if she throws something on the ground, I don't even react to it because I feel like that's when they want to, you know, do it again. So if she drops a spoon or like throws a pea, I just totally ignore it. If you react, they're gonna wanna do it again, I feel like. Choose your style. So there's so many different ways to feed your baby. I mean, even when they're born, you know, there's breastfeeding, bottle feeding, formula feeding. You know, the best way is the way that works for you and your family. For us, like, we did a bit of a hybrid when it came to eating solids at 6 months. I know some people choose to feed their baby earlier, like cereals and stuff. I waited till 6 months. I felt like that's when Sage was more ready to eat. She didn't really show signs of eating early on, and she wasn't really like sitting up on her own yet. Is that good? Is that good? Can mommy have some? Mommy have some? Thank you. I love peas. So we did a hybrid of, well, I would say it's fully baby-led weaning. We just did a mixture of like handheld foods and purees, like thicker purees. We'd literally preload a spoon, give it to her, and then she would bring it to her mouth. And I still consider that self-feeding, and a lot of resources that I follow also consider that baby-led weaning. It's basically just when baby is feeding themselves with assistance or without. I did not feel comfortable giving her like a full drumstick to feed herself with. Sage is just like a smaller baby. You okay? An angry baby, apparently. I didn't feel comfortable like diving right into like fully handheld solids of like the baby-led weaning style right away. So we did a mixture that works for us. From the 6 to 8 month mark, we did mostly purees with some soft foods that were like avocado and steamed sweet potato and banana that I could make a little bit bigger, or handheld style that would mash easily in her mouth. And then we slowly transitioned into more like other types of foods like peas, and right now she's eating beets, you know, and just other textures and shapes and stuff, so she could continue the skill of chewing. Because I think it's so easy as parents to be like, I'm just gonna give my kids mushy foods like until they're 2, and you know, I really think that's doing a disservice to your kid, because like learning to chew is a skill that we need to learn at a young age. And I think if you are nervous like I was, definitely educate yourself. I took an amazing course. I think it's called the Happy Healthy Eaters course. I cannot recommend it enough. It's actually run by 2 Canadian moms who are dietitians, and this course is so amazing. I watched it in like, I don't know, 2 days. And I actually have a coupon code for you guys. I think it's Sage Eats. I'll put it on the screen, but I'll put a link down below. It like taught me like everything. I took it in 2 days, and then we started feeding her solids like the next week. And it just made me feel really, really confident. And I cannot recommend it enough. People always ask me, how did I start? Where do I get my information? That course was really helpful. And then there's a couple of books that I picked up as well, and some Instagram accounts that I follow. So I'm gonna have all of those resources linked for you guys in the blog post below as well, because you gotta start somewhere, and I think you need to educate yourself. Take a baby CPR course if you need to feel confident, you know, when your baby's eating. I feel like every parent is scared of, you know, choking and gagging, and it is scary. The more you know, the more you can feel prepared. The more you know, the less you stress. Is that a saying? I don't know. So basically, I don't know what Sage is doing. Basically, the style that we do now, which is what we've always really done, is, you know, the baby-led weaning style, where like baby is feeding themselves. I feel like it's been really nice because I can be in the kitchen doing things, prepping our food, watching her, and she's just feeding herself. Like no one needs to be there with a spoon giving her, you know, purees, which is really convenient. And also she gets to pick what she's putting in her mouth. It's like the first decision that she gets to make as a baby. What's down there? Oh, do you want more toast? All right, now when it comes to introducing new foods, I would definitely recommend, like if they do not like a food one meal time, to try and try again. I've heard that it can take 7 times until a baby is actually like, yeah, I'll eat that food. And Sage sometimes will like a food in one way, but not another. Like she doesn't really care for fresh blueberries, like chopped up, but she loves frozen blueberries. I think it's like the skin that she doesn't like when they're fresh. I warm up some frozen blueberries, or I put it in her baby cakes or her baby pancakes. She definitely will eat them that way, but I don't know, there's so many food. Oh, she doesn't really care for like yogurt, like creamy textures. So I will sometimes like play around with it and give it to her different ways. And you'll be surprised at, you know, like offering it to them more times that they might end up liking it. Sometimes she'll go through a random phase where one day she doesn't like applesauce or avocado, and I'm like, girl, this is like your favorite food. And then it passes. Or she'll be really weird where like she'll only eat it if you put it on the spoon and let her put it in her mouth, or if you're the one that gives it to her in her mouth. Like it's sometimes like weird rules, and she likes to shove everything in her mouth. So same thing with the trying different foods, is switch things up. If they don't like one food, you know, change it up, give it a different way. A lot of times with avocado, I will change it up. We have a little crinkle cutter. Actually, I'm gonna cut some for her right now. So I have my little crinkle cutter, and I'm just gonna slice some avocado for her in a fun zigzag texture. Yeah, look at that. That's fun. Sometimes I'll sprinkle on some hemp hearts. It also makes it easier for them to pick up. But you know, if they're always having oatmeal for breakfast, switch it up. Add some apple, add some pumpkin puree. She loves pumpkin oats. It's like her favorite thing. Yeah, I'm always switching up her food so that she's not getting bored of something, and she's getting a nice variety. Create a routine. Babies love a routine, at least Sage does. I mean, every baby is different, but I think for the most part, they enjoy routine just like ourselves. She knows in the mornings when we strip her down to her diaper and put her in her high chair that she is gonna get breakfast. So she gets really excited. She loves eating, as you can see, and she'll start to get whiny in the morning as we're prepping her breakfast. And as soon as we like strip her down to her diaper, put her in her high chair, she's calm and she lets us do the bib because she knows like I'm about to eat. And you know, we always turn off the TV and you know, just create a calm eating environment, but also routine. So same time of the day, we usually feed her an hour after waking up. So she can kind of know, I feel like babies have an internal clock, and just like dogs and us too, you know, I don't even sleep with an alarm clock. I wake up at the same time every day, and you know, they got their alarm clocks, their personal embedded alarm clocks too. And you know, they usually expect food at similar times during the day and snacks. Sage loves her snacks. You want more? So some of these overlap, but another one is let them do it themselves. You know, I think it creates a lot of independence when they're able to make the choice for themselves of like, you know, how much they want to eat, what food that they want to eat. Do you want some water? And like even with her water, a lot of times I'll just let her pick it up and try to do it, even if water spills. But putting avocado in the cup, sure. But letting them take some ownership and doing things themselves, I think is really, really important. And they get excited about it too. Like Sage loves when she got to start like feeding herself and, you know, giving mom or dad a spoon. Oh, you just spilled that all in there, huh? Yeah. All right, home cooked food. Now I get it, everyone's busy. It seems really convenient to buy the pre-made baby jars or like the little like squeezy packs and the packaged foods. And there is definitely many times and places for those foods, but I just think that they shouldn't take up the majority of what your child eats. And that goes for like us too. You know, I think it's important that we're eating real food that's not always coming out of a package, pre-made. You know, I feel like the food that sits on the shelves just doesn't have the same amount of nutrients as it does when it's home cooked, not to mention the flavor. Like, have you tried baby food before? It's quite bland. And this girl barely eats it, to be honest. I feel like I've spoiled her with home cooked food. She'll eat some pre-made baby food, but not often. And like, we can't rely on it. Like there's definitely some like go-tos that she likes. So I have those on hand when we are going places and we need a squeeze pack. But if I give her like chicken, carrots, and peas in a squeeze pack, and I don't blame her. Like I tried that, it is for the adventurous eaters, let me tell you. So I am a huge advocate for homemade food, and it does not need to be super complicated. I honestly feel like if you have your go-to recipes that you just kind of rotate between, meal prep, cook a bunch, freeze it into portions so it's ready to go and just heat up during the day, it makes things so much easier. I actually have, if you're just starting out with food with your baby, I have a baby meal prep blog post and video for ages like 6 to 8 months. And that is basically what I did with Sage. Super helpful. And even now that we're away from home, like I'm still doing that. Like I'll cook up a big batch of oatmeal, freeze it into portions. Matt can easily go in there, thaw them on the stove, and breakfast is ready in minutes. Or just having like go-to meals. Like I make a lot of spinach eggs with peas on the side. You can also make something for the whole family and just do some small tweaks for baby. So like don't add the spice and the salt. Take some aside for baby and then add in the rest of your seasonings, and then the whole family can enjoy that. You don't always have to cook 2 meals. I often don't, or I just cook things that are really simple and easy. And like having go-to meals like banana, avocado, you know, toast sticks are just like easy go-tos for like a quick lunch. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands. Also, if you guys are looking for more easy and delicious baby-friendly recipes, make sure you guys are subscribed to my email list. I'm gonna have a link down below for my secret project that I've been working so hard on. It's gonna be launching end of January. I don't know when this video is going live, but I'm very excited. So if you guys want more information on that, link down below, sign up to be the first to know. On to the next tip. My next tip is to be engaged. It's so easy, just especially as they start to self-feed themselves, it's easy just to let them do their thing and, you know, kind of just be going about your own thing, obviously, while watching them. But I really think it's important to be engaged with them. You know, you don't want to be like overshadowing them, but also just like being engaged, like, avocado, this is green, it's creamy, it's delicious. No, it's not? Okay, there you go. Slippery. And talking to them, explaining what they're eating. You're being so silly. Also, this is a great opportunity to incorporate sign language. So we taught Sage to sign starting at 6 months, basically when she started eating food. After so many requests, I'm gonna do a full video on going through like what I did to teach Sage to sign, and as I'm like teaching her new signs as well, I'm gonna share that in a video. So Sage knows how to do more. She knows milky. Milky, that's your favorite. And then all done, which is really great because even when she's done eating, she will start to do this, and you know, like, okay, she's done, she can communicate with us. Yeah. Oh, more. Perfect example. So it's great because like, I also know if she wants more food, like if I already heated up the amount of food for her and she's done eating it, you know, if she's asking for more, like I will find something else to give to her. So good. Yeah. But it's honestly been one of the funnest things to do with her is to teach her sign. In the beginning, you feel like it's endless. Nothing's ever going to happen. And then they start to get it. And you feel like you can talk to your little baby that can't speak words yet, but they can do hand motions. Yay. My next tip is eliminate distractions. So this is something that was really important to me. I think it's easy, especially in the beginning when it just takes them so long to eat. You know, you're watching TV or you're on your phone or you got music playing and it's just really distracting. Like if I have the TV on, Sage is just watching TV and she's not eating and she's not listening to like her hunger cues. And like even for us, like they always say it's not good to be on your phone when you're eating lunch. We all do it. I do it too. But I think when they're so little and they're just like learning their own instincts and intuitive eating, I think it's great to limit distractions when possible. Like I even try to make sure like no one's playing with cashew down the hall and like making a lot loud noises or just like things that are going to catch her eye so she can just focus at the task at hand. Yeah, so we have a rule. We always turn off the TV and have a little quiet time. Yeah. While Sage is eating. You okay? There's too many. Too many. Oh my God. She stresses me out. She shovels way too much food. These are yellow. Yellow beets. Yellow. Did you say yellow? Also, a couple bonus ones I would suggest if you're able to is actually eat together as a family. I know it's not always the case if like baby eats really early. But even if you can have like a little snack with them or something, I think it's good for them to see that eating can be something done together as a family. And then eventually they will hopefully be eating with you. Yeah. Definitely for breakfast, I try to have like breakfast ready for everyone so we can all eat together. It also just makes it easier for you because otherwise I find like Sage eats and like she's good, but now I'm like, oh, okay, we got to eat breakfast and like our morning's already like halfway done and it just is more chaotic, I find. You have so much food in here. You have so much food in there. Educate yourself. As I mentioned earlier, if you are a nervous parent when it comes to feeding your baby like I was, it just seemed so intimidating. I was so overwhelmed with it. Even though I cook for a living, I have a cookbook, I love food, I make recipes all the time. Feeding a small human was very overwhelming and intimidating, like I said. So taking an online course, picking up some books, following some Instagram accounts, just getting information, inspiration, and just ideas and stuff, I think is really great. Talking to friends and family who have kids, I think is great. Everyone has their own style and way of doing it. I think if you educate yourself, you can create your own style and what works best for you. Oh no! All done? Are you all done? So I'm gonna link my favorite resources that have really helped me out down below. But if you guys have any of your own suggestions, definitely let me know in the comments. I would love to check them out. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. My sister's making silly faces behind the camera. I hope this video helps just give you guys some ideas to try out with your babies and hopefully prevent the dreaded picky eaters. I know it's always something that's like scary. I worry too that one day Sage is gonna be like, I don't like green food. I want chicken nuggets and fries, you know, but I think all you can do is your best. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out of our control when it comes to babies choosing what they want and don't want to eat. She just bit me. But I think all we can do is help support them, do our best, and the rest is up to them, really. Okay, you ready? You're all done? Tell mommy, all done? She's being so silly. All done? Okay. All right, bye guys, have a fabulous day. And I'm gonna clean up this fabulous mess. All done?